get you on the radio. Yeah, you gotta get on the radio. It doesn't take a long time.
Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk home improvement every Saturday afternoon. This is the midweek special. This is where we talk about these fun things that maybe happened during the week that, well, maybe I want to just give you a friendly reminder. Maybe it's something we didn't get to last week. Maybe it's something we're not going to get to next week. So, first off, I want you to pay attention to Around the House with Eric G on Facebook, because the next 3 to 4 weeks are going to be pretty crazy with my travel schedule. So you're going to see a lot more Facebook Live videos. It's some of the places I'm going to be. For instance, next week, I'm going to be in Boston at the NRLA Expo there. So if you're in Boston, you're in that lumberyard group, come on by and say hi. I'll be the opening keynote speaker, as well as giving seminars on technology all week long. And I might do some Facebook Live videos, depending on who I run into. And two, if those darn Patriots win the Super Bowl, unfortunately, that party, which would be the parade, is going to go right in front of my hotel room and the convention center. So who knows where I might end up with that. Might see some crazy videos on that as well, just because I'm going to be planted right at ground zero for that one. So keep in mind, I don't want anybody to get deflated about that. I am a Seahawks fan, but it's going to be some interesting people watching nonetheless. All right, so let's talk about this kind of tip of the week here. And it's not even really a tip, it's just a friendly reminder. This is a good time right now to check in with your safety plan around your house. I want you to check those smoke and fire detectors. Easy stuff. If you have a smoke detector or a fire detector, which one ever it is, make sure they're working, test them. But here's what I want you to do. This is where we go the extra step. Because I know a lot of people go, I just checked it with the lights. And when we change the daylight savings time and stuff, and double check it. Take a minute. And here's my little rule with that too. Get some 9-volt batteries and just keep them in the house. Good ones. Just a package of 2 or whatever. That will always keep you from having to take one out and put it back in. That way you don't have to worry about it. Because what happens is that sometimes they'll beep in the middle of the night, you take it down, or you pull the battery out of it for it to quit beeping, and then you forget to fix it. So, little tip, if you just have, a couple bucks for the batteries right there, you'll be okay. Second of all, when you check them, make sure that check the due date on them. Smoke and fire detectors are only rated for about a decade. So make sure that they're up to date as well. Otherwise, you're going to have to put some new ones in. And so that's a big deal as well. Now, on top of that, if there's areas that you can't get, or you're not able or don't have the ability to get up and change them, call your local fire department. Good chance that they'll come out when they get a minute and help you do that. They're good people like that. They want to have to come in a burning building and save your life. If they can help you out, most of them will do that. So there's a nice little tip as well. Now here's the other thing. I want you to go out and buy fire extinguishers. Decent sized ones if you can. Put one in the kitchen. Don't put it right next to the range, because that's probably where the fire is going to be. I'd put it maybe over by the sink. Less chance of a fire being over there. Or just put it on the entrance when you're coming into it. If you've got a little curio cabinet in the way into the kitchen, put it in there so it's out of the kitchen, because you don't want to be too close to the fire and not be able to get to it if you have a fire in the kitchen. As well, I want to see one in your laundry room. Outside the laundry room is even a little bit better, just outside of it. If it's right inside the door of the laundry room, away from the dryer, good place to have one there as well. And then I want to see one in the garage or utility cabinet or close to it, where your heating air conditioning system is and your water heater. And even your electrical panel, where it comes down to that. Those are the 3 places I want to see fire extinguishers in any home. That way, you've got it. The 4th one, which isn't a bad idea, your bedroom. You think, why your bedroom? Well, if you got to get out of a house and there's a fire going on, that might save your life if you're trying to get out of someplace that you can't. So if you think there's a smoke, fire going on, you're going to go put it out, good chance you're going to be in bed. So another good place to keep one as well. So those are the first things with that. Now, if you have any gas appliances or even an enclosed garage, where you have a garage that's attached to the house, I want to see carbon monoxide detectors. I want to see those on the living floor, down in the, whatever floors you have. If you have 2 floors, I want to see a couple of them. Put them in. That way, if you've got, something coming into the garage, maybe you're working out there, something's leaking in, maybe a car's been running a little bit too long versus a failure of a heating air conditioning system or something like that, put that in there. And then the last one I want to see you do, have a great escape plan. So what happens with you and the kids? Maybe there's a fire. They know where to get out, how to get out. Can they get out? That's the first thing. Second of all, where are you going to meet up? You going to meet up in the front yard? Neighbor's house? What's the plan? Come up with a plan so everybody can get out of the house. That's a key right there. Just a quick discussion goes a long ways of what you should do. So keep hammering that in as well, especially with kids. Keep working on that one. And if you need to get a fire ladder to climb out with, put it below the window there. That way, if somebody needs it, they can get to it. If you get out on the roof, not a big deal, drop down. That's a little bit easier situation. But again, pay attention to those things. Know what your access points are and know how to get out of there. And just be safe with all that stuff. A little bit of maintenance goes a long ways. This time of year, when, like in Portland, for instance, we haven't had a hard winter. But if we get a cold streak, make sure those things are not stacked next to those baseboard heaters. They haven't been kicking on, so everybody gets lulled to sleep with that stuff. Make sure any of those fan-forced electric heaters or baseboard heaters are clear of anything, because all it takes is a couple days of cold, and you're in big trouble. All right, well, we got some fun stuff coming up next weekend here, this weekend on Around the House. We've got a bunch of different topics I want to tackle. I want to talk about roofing, siding, and walkways. How to clean them right without ruining them or damaging the warranty or any of that stuff. And the other one I want to talk about is going to be top things you can do to prevent a plumbing disaster. Now, plumbing disasters can be a lot of things. They can be a pipe breaking. They could be a backed up toilet. They could be a destroyed garbage disposal. Or even getting into some laundry stuff where you got some problems there. So we're going to talk about the top things you can do to prevent a plumbing disaster as well. Plus, take all your calls, and there'll be also a lot of other little mini subjects within the show. But those are some of the big stuff we're going to tackle this weekend on Around the House. So tune in Saturday, noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check us out there. You can check us out live at kxl.com and stream it there. Or if you missed the show, you can catch us right here on the podcast where you're listening now. All right, everybody, have a great week. Stay safe out there. See you Saturday.